Hey there everybody, my name is Ryan Nguyen, I'm a CPA, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Paycheck Protection Program Flexibility Act. But before that, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to keep everybody as updated as often as possible with the most relevant stuff. And also in the comments below, I'd love to know how your city is doing right now with any shutdown orders or lockdown orders. I know in Colorado, restaurants are now able to open their dining rooms at around 50% capacity. So in the comments below, please let me know how your city is doing and how you are doing. So last week, I talked about a potential bill that Congress will introduce that will make some major changes to the Paycheck Protection Program. Well, on Tuesday, May 26th, they did finally get that bill written out. It's a very short bill, but it does have some major changes here, and I'll go over those changes for you right now. They're expected to vote on this bill pretty soon, and supposedly there is bipartisan support. I can't really verify that, but that's what I've been hearing. So the first thing that they're addressing is the 8-week cover period. At the moment, when you get approved for the PPP, you have 8 weeks to spend that money in order for your funds to be forgiven. Well, now they're changing it to 24 weeks, 3 times as long. And I know that's going to be really helpful for folks in the restaurant, hospitality, and retail industries because, while this PPP program was being dished out, that entire industry was shut down. They couldn't operate their primary locations. They probably had to furlough or lay off many employees, which basically renders the PPP useless. The next thing they're doing is they're going to extend the period that you have to rehire employees that count towards your FTE calculation for forgiveness. So before, it was by June 30th, you had to rehire all of your employees that you laid off, or at least rehire replacements for them, right? Now they're extending that deadline to December 31st, or at least they're proposing to extend that deadline to December 31st. And that's also huge because, there's also been talks about extending the federal unemployment program. So if employees continue to refuse to work and just take unemployment, that's going to make it challenging for businesses to rehire them. So extending this deadline will help with forgiveness substantially. The third thing this bill talks about is the maturity date of the loan. So right now, the PPP is set to mature in 2 years after the forgiveness period and all that stuff, right? 2 years, 1% interest. Well, this bill is going to extend that to 5 years. It adds a clause to the maturity date. It says for a minimum of 5 years and a maximum of 10-year maturity. That's going to give more flexibility to business owners to pay back their loan, or at least the portion that's not forgiven. The fourth thing in this bill, which is also a really big thing, is that it's going to eliminate the 75% payroll expense limitation. Right here, it adds a line to the CARES Act that says, no limitations. In carrying out this section, the administrator, which are the lenders and the banks, may not limit the non-payroll portion of a forgivable covered loan amounts. That's huge because people were really concerned about how they're going to use the money to cover their payroll costs if they couldn't hire employees or if employees didn't want to return to work. People were just concerned about the 75% rule, 75% for payroll. This seems to eliminate that completely, which gives so much more flexibility to business owners. Now, I'm certain that you still have to use the money for payroll, utilities, rent, mortgage interest, those kinds of things, but it just eliminates the ratio that you have to use them in. And lastly, I'm not too familiar with many businesses that are bummed out about this rule, but originally when you are a recipient of a PPP, you no longer can take advantage of the deferred payroll taxes that was outlined in the CARES Act. And this bill will eliminate that restriction. So if you are the recipient of a PPP, you can still defer your payroll taxes. So this will give business owners more flexibility with their cash flow. So that's all the major changes in this bill. It's called the PPP Flexibility Act, the Payroll Protection Flexibility Act. Check it out yourselves. It's a really short bill. You know, it's probably under like 700 words. So for a bill, relatively short. I think if this bill passes, it's going to be a huge relief for many, many business owners, because it just increases the flexibility or eliminates some of the biggest pain points that people are having about the PPP. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Love to hear from you. Love to answer your questions. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and smash the like button on this video if you enjoyed it. And take care for now. I'll see you next time.